Hey guys, welcome to another video. And in this video, I want to ask you guys the question, have you spent time with God today? And this is something where honestly, for a while, most days my answer was no. I would get so caught up in like the day to day, the hustle of, you get up, you go to the gym, you come back from the gym, you shower, you go to school, whatever, like, or you shower, you go to work and just kind of rinse and repeat on a day to day basis. You come back from work, you watch TV until you go to bed or, whatever, and then you just repeat the cycle over and over and over again. And then it's Sunday rolls around, you go to church, come back, oh, okay, I'm gonna be better. Boom. And then same thing, just week after week after week. It felt like the only time I was really spending time with God was on Sunday when I'd go to church. And even in terms of my prayer life wasn't really there. I mostly just pray before meals, pray at church on Sunday, and that was really about it. I wasn't actively, praying first thing in the morning. I wasn't, praying for situations in the moment. I would just try to remember, like, oh, something would happen, I'll pray about that Sunday. I'll pray about that when I'm at church. And most of the time, it's like I'd end up forgetting because by then it's like, well, something happens on Monday or Tuesday, and you tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to pray about it on Sunday. And you don't, write a note of it, you don't set a reminder or anything like that. You're bound to forget. And that's something that I found is just doing routine things. If I don't, make a reminder or set a note, it just gets a little more stressful because those are things that you're trying to just keep in your mind and you're trying to store it there and you're trying to remember, oh, I was going to pray about that situation. And then you just forget about it by the time, 5, 6 days go by. And so what I've really just been trying to do recently is I've been trying to get in the habit of reading the Bible in the morning, or if I can't read the Bible or if I don't read the Bible, I at least try to pray. And sometimes it's just a quick, thank you, Lord, for another day. It's just a really quick kind of check-in prayer of, if I have to wake up and, and get ready and be out of the house, it's just a real quick, just kind of thank you, Lord, for another day. Thank you for, giving me the chance to improve and better myself. And then I'm kind of, out the door. But, even those little, prayers, those quick, check-ins are still better than not talking to God at all. Because at least even if because of course God understands. Sometimes, we wake up and we have to, get ready for work and leave. And so we don't have 20 minutes or whatever in, that particular morning. But even if it's just a quick check-in, that's so much better than just not saying anything at all and just kind of, just moving on about your day. And sometimes even if you don't have time at home, that's something you can say in the car while you're driving. Of course, with your eyes open, driving safely. But, those are things where sometimes that's a moment to just like be still, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you have a long commute to work, to just pause your podcast or audiobook or whatever music you're listening to and to just talk to God real quick, where it's, you can have that moment with him. And so, yeah, you guys. And I've noticed that ever since I've started trying to make that a habit, my days just start off more peaceful because I don't start the day kind of in panic mode or in worry mode where I'm praying and I'm thinking, or not, that, but I'm not just in this mindset of going to work, driving to work thinking, oh no, this might happen or that might happen. And I don't know. It's like when I pray, it's like all of a sudden I give those worries up to God. I give up the anxiety and I say, Lord, I fully trust you to remove this from me, to take this out of me. And so when I'm doing that, when I'm praying, when I'm fully trusting that God is in control, all of a sudden my mental health just skyrockets. And all of a sudden now I'm going into work optimistic and I'm feeling great about the day. And I'm not so caught up in this like culture of, complaining and woe is me, I have work and I don't, feel like going to work and I'm tired and I'm this and I'm that. Because one thing that's also very common when you're constantly on social media or sometimes even just interacting with people a lot in general, sometimes you can get caught up in this woe is me mindset very quickly and very easily. And if you're not aware of what's happening when it's happening, all of a sudden you look back and you're like, wait a second, I've gotten so negative. I didn't always used to be this way. I used to be a lot more optimistic, but then you start to get to that point of, oh, I don't have time for anything, and I'm always working, and I'm always, rush hour is the worst, and traffic is the worst, and every time I go to work, I have to deal with it. And so now, like, you're starting to tell yourself all these things. You're starting to affirm all these things. So now it's like you're going to work and you're dreading your commute to work. You're probably going to dread, the work day. But, and I was listening, I think in this audiobook, this guy said something that was similar, but he talked about, even if there's a lot of traffic or it's a long commute to work, just taking that time to be present with God. And sometimes, you might say a quick prayer and then listen to a Christian audiobook, or you might throw on a Christian podcast or Christian music. And it can be something like, sometimes like on the way to work, I'll listen to like Here in the Light, or I'll listen to KB, or, sometimes you need something energetic, but something that's not secular and something that's still going to get you pumped up for the day, but in a good and in a productive way, in a way that's not going to have you, focused on just making as much money as you can. It's going to be music that gets you that energy, but that it's good for your soul. And that's why I love Christian rap so much, is I listen to it all the time on my way to work, and it just gets me in the right headspace, but it gets me energetic and looking forward to the day. And so, yeah, sometimes that's really all it takes. I started listening to KB's audiobook, and I think it's called Dangerous Jesus. And so I'm not too far, into it yet, but it's also a really good audiobook. And there are times where I'll listen to audiobooks. Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts. There's this girl, Madison Pruitt, I think's her name, and I listen to her podcast sometimes. There's this other girl, Deborah. I listen to her podcast sometimes. So I'm a big fan of her YouTube channel as well. But yeah, so sometimes I'm in the mood of like taking in information. Other times I want to listen to a beat and I just want to listen to lyrics, because sometimes, when you're driving, sometimes it gets real easy to kind of drift, where sometimes you're driving, of course you're focused on the road and everything, but mentally sometimes you start thinking about, okay, all right, well, I've got this going on, and not like in a bad way, but you're just kind of going through the motions. And so when I'm in that kind of headspace, listening to an audiobook is tough, because I feel like every 2 minutes I'm having to rewind it. So I'm like, oh, wait a second, I missed something. And it's just like having to do that over and over again. It's like, I'd rather just listen to some music where it's like, okay, I know there's something, but like I can still also just, think about what I need to do, what I have going on as well. And so that's something that's helped me a ton with that stuff as well. And so, yeah, you guys, I hope that you guys found value from this video. I just wanted to talk about just the importance of talking to God as much as we can. And so I love making these videos because it's a way for me to hold myself accountable. I can always look back on these videos and go, oh, that's right, I did make a video on that. Okay. And so it's a way for me to get closer to God, but at the same time to help others get closer to God as well, and to build that relationship with Him. And so I hope that you guys found value from this video. If you guys stayed the whole time, I really appreciate you guys. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe so that we can all grow a relationship with Jesus together. And so, yeah, you guys, thank you so much again for watching. Stay blessed and have a great day.